Hello, I'm Reverend Dexter Mitchell, and I am a candidate to be the next pastor of Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church. Mount Pleasant is located at 2440 Mount Zion Road in Little River, South Carolina. And right off the bat, I want to give a shout out to my wife, Dr. Kim Gore Mitchell. She's not only my partner in life, but she's my partner in ministry. And so the graphics you see, logos, that's her work. Just right off the bat, that haven't been approved, but this is the vision that we see for the future. The title of the presentation is Building on Faith, Growing in Unity, Serving in Love. As we prayed for vision and mission direction from God, Psalms 133 and 1 and St. John 13:35. Behold, how good and pleasant it is for brothers and sisters to dwell together in unity. The Psalm reference, St. John 13 and 35, Jesus said to his disciples, they will know you are my disciples by the love you have for one another. So our vision is to build a unified, loving church family that brings God's love to our community and beyond. The faith or vision tagline would be living in unity, loving as disciples. Living in unity, loving as disciples. The mission to be a Christ-centered community, unified in love and committed to making disciples who grow in faith and demonstrate God's love to all. Mount Pleasant is 80 years old, and so there's a strong foundation, a good foundation already laid. 1944, 16 founding members are responsible for starting Mount Pleasant, and so over the years, the church has grown to be a place of worship, place of community and discipleship. Throughout the history of this church, they've had dedicated pastors and faithful members who have continued to expand God's mission for this church, building a church that reflects God's enduring love and God's presence. Mount Pleasant is in the community of Wampee in Little River. Little River is a community outside of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Population of Little River is a little under 12,000 people. That population mix is about almost 90% white, 6% African American, and even smaller percentage Hispanic. The mission goals or the ministry goals that we feel like God is saying to us and impressing upon us is to unity, to create a spirit of unity by drawing people together of all ages and backgrounds to worship and serve. Discipleship. When Jesus was getting ready to leave his disciples, he said, go make disciples, teaching them to observe everything that I've taught you. So to equip and empower disciples through education and mentorship and service, community engagement. We envision a place where God will allow us to create community engagement by serving the practical spiritual needs of the Little River community around us by showing Christ's love in action. Foundational to what we do will be worship and discipleship. Weekly worship services, Bible studies will be at the core of our mission and ministry. Our weekly worship will bring the church family together to praise and learn and grow as disciples of Christ, supporting each other in our faith journey. We will serve the community by doing things that are service to the seniors and retirees by providing fellowship opportunities to support them, family and economic opportunities. There are already some things that are happening throughout the community that involve food banks and food drop-offs. And so we will continue to do those, cultivate biblical knowledge and spiritual wisdom, centering on our church family and looking for God's guidance through our prayer meetings. And then through children's and youth ministry, we will look to build the next generation, but also lay the foundation for discipleship for them to allow them to help us build and grow disciples, young disciples of Christ. So I envision the youth department as being a strong arm of this ministry in the future. Once we solidify the things in the church, then we'll be ready to engage the community around us. Through targeted outreach, we will aim to be a church that understands and responds to the needs of our local community, building strong connections that reflect Christ's compassion. Some key initiatives that I envision being a part of things that we will partner with others to do is senior programming, family supporting programming, and again, the cultural diversity aspect of things. So how will we do this? With God's help, of course, but also by developing leaders. We need deacons. We need an engaged executive team to work alongside the pastoral leadership. Pastoral arm will seek God and try to hear God and get the marching orders, but the other aspects of leadership will provide the functional needs, the practical needs of the church, to do needs-based outreach to enhance communication, pastoral visitation. So right now, since being the interim, I've done monthly communion visits. We will continue to do monthly communion visits, adding to that home visit the sick and shut-ins and hospital visits. And then we will sit down quarterly and review and look at the scorecard and say, how are we doing? How can we do better? These are all things that I envision as being a part of what happens in the next phase at Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church. So what do we have to do? First of all, you got to vote so that if you feel that this is a part of what God is calling for the next phase of this church, then okay, you got to vote to have me to come to be the pastor. But we got to join together and invite people to join us in living out the vision together through prayer, service, and love. We can create a lasting impact of our community. Ways to get involved: got to serve, got to pray together, we got to invite others, and then we got to raise money to do it. That's what God has given me, and I hope it's enlightening to you, but I hope it's something that tugs at your heart and is a part of the vision that you see for the future of Mount Pleasant Missionary Baptist Church. Thank you very much. Again, I'm Reverend Dexter Mitchell. Dr. Kim Gore Mitchell helped me put this all together, and all praise to God. Thank you.